main story of the week, basically, which was like,
Scams. Like we
yeah,
talked
and
about
that was
last
like what a
time.
lot of the news was happening. But
Two more, like we talked about how this has been a bear market for scams, like two really big ones where I think the Nomad hack or the Nomad bridge hack was like one of the largest in crypto, where it was basically, you know, like someone had this really like not the
it
great
wasn't
code.
elegant, but they figured
Yeah,
out a way to hack. And then it was to do draining of the bridge a bit by bit at a time.
and
And
then
then it was
sending it
made
to a
public.
wallet. So the actually the code you were people were able to copy and paste, the code and just add the amount that they wanted, and they could drain the bridge that amount. And people started knowing this on the blockchain because you had these random ETH addresses, and then there was Kobe had a tweet where it's like, oh, uh, access the hack the bridge and send it to ledger.eth.
A
So
lot of it did, well,
you didn't
no,
even,
not a lot, but some got given back. There were some white
yeah,
hat
why
hackers.
hats? But
So the idea is that some people hacked it on purpose while other people were hacking it to try to recover some of the money, and they gave it back, but in the promise
the
of,
random people that just copy and paste the code.
yeah, but they were like, there were memes about it afterwards where, I mean, I don't know. We should go through the Nomad hack before we get to the other hack, but
This is the yeah, this
the Nomad hack
says
was
a copy and
how many
paste.
million? 180, 300,
169 million.
169 million that were stolen. And it's a bad look, you know. Obviously that like all this gets drained and then yeah, the triple watermelon. Who's triple watermelon got ETH?
Well, he returned
That person is a white hat hacker that had taken, I believe, 1 point how many million?
4 million.
4 million. And there were several people that returned some of the money, but it was around 4 million
They
of the
recovered
180.
16.6 million so far.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the total that was hacked, but it was in the several
I thought it
hundred
was 300
millions.
million, but you said 169, but also I thought 180. There are different estimates and different things, but I mean, that
It
was
was
a
definitely
really,
over a
really, really
hundred
bad
million.
one. And
Where people were able to just exploit the code and you didn't even have to like know Solidity or like
yeah, people were just copy
Rust.
and pasting and then sending themselves money from like the bridge. And yeah, no, then afterwards, like the
And
same
then
day, was this Tuesday?
yeah, I think Tuesday
It
where
was Tuesday.
Solana iOS hacks, um, just phantom hacks from the wallet, and people speculate that it might be insider job because you need the private keys. They're just draining wallets randomly from people even who like who just created phantom wallets and transferred their soul to phantom and then didn't even like do another transaction. Like those wallets got drained. And so I think 8,000 wallets were affected, and I think
It was only 4 million, and then it wasn't actually the fault of Solana, but it was a bad look.
no, there's nothing wrong with the
And then the
blockchain. It was
Phantom
just like
wallet,
the law.
exactly, the Phantom wallet, they were supposed to be like MetaMask. That's kind of like, I feel like the real
Yeah.
story. It wasn't that much money. It wasn't as big as Nomad, but I want to show the meme because like I think
Well,
we're
it was
about the
my
memes and we're about Twitter. So this was from Viscosity Solutions where it was the same day after Nomad Solana got hacked. And then it's the meme from Lord of the Rings where it's like, oh, like first hack, like what about second exploit?
but the thing
That's gonna be
is that
super bright.
also
That was a poor,
because of the Lord of the Rings thing,
yeah.
because the
Solana,
SBF
yes, yeah.
was talking shit about the Lord of the Rings. Like someone said, like, oh, unlikely or unpopular
Unpopular
opinion
opinion, Lord of the Rings is
is
not
kind
that
of
good.
chair,
And then
and he's
Solana,
like, he agreed. And this is after like he tweeted that Solana was an underrated coin,
yeah.
and he kind of was under fire, but then he kind of like had to back it up. Um, but yeah,
So
so
Hisaka trades, who's like He's the white wolf. He's the legend. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, if you're just around long enough, you kind of are like, this is people. People look to this trader. Solana exploit hours after Sam shits on the Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
and then it's like Gandalf being, things are now in motion that cannot be undone. Like it's Lord of the Rings memes, and maybe he provoked the sort of the Lord of the Rings, you know?
yeah. I mean, with that new sequel or series, not sequel, but the new TV show that Amazon apparently spent $1 billion on. So maybe like that's he's talking shit about that, but
But
um,
people were, now what happened was people were coming to a legitimate discussion about Solana. What came of it was that Solana, and this is, let's have a sip, and then let's talk about the difference between Solana and Ethereum.